Welcome to our few moments together on the Parsha. This Shabbos we have the privilege of reading Parshas Shelach. The opening section of Parshas Shelach tells us about the fact that Moshe sent out the 12 spies, one member of the princes of each of the 12 tribes, the princes, each of them, Roshei Alfei Yisrael, they were the heads of their tribes. They went out to be the spies that were going to investigate the coming into Eretz Yisrael prior to the Jews coming in and miraculously, with Hashem's help, taking over the entire land of Israel. As we know, 10 of the 12 spies came back with a terrible report, which ultimately resulted in Klal Yisrael having to remain 40 years in the Midbar. The spies went and reconnoitered for 40 days, and a year for each day that they went and came back with a bad report was added on for the sojourn of the Jewish people in the land of the Midbar before they came into the land of Israel. However, of the 12, 2 resisted and did not say what the others said. The peer pressure must have been enormous. The amount of pressure on Kalev ben Yefuna and Yehoshua ben Nun to say the same as they must have been tremendous, but they both, with tremendous strength and with tremendous conviction, resisted all efforts. We can understand why Yehoshua resisted those efforts. He was, after all, a Talmud, the Talmud Muvak, the special one and only Talmud of Moshe Rabbeinu that stood out amongst all the others. We understand how he got the strength to resist the temptation of going along with the spies. But what about Kalev ben Yefuna? Where did he get the gumption, the spirit, the courage to resist all the negative efforts of all the spies? Where did he get it from? So if you take a look at Perek Yud Gimel in Pasuk Chav Beis, it says, Vaya'alu vanegev, they went up to the south, meaning they went up in the land of Israel from the southern part of Eretz Yisrael going to the higher part. So they went up, Vaya'alu b'Negev, they went up into the Negev from deep below that, Vayavo ad Chevron, and he came to Chevron. Notice the change in number, because it says Vaya'alu v'Negev, they went up, plural, they went up, and then it says Vayavo, and he singularly came to Chevron. Who was that he? So Rashi on that pasuk comments and says, Kalev levado halach sham. Only Kalev went to Chevron, lehistateach al kivrei avos, to prostrate himself and to pray by the graves of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, shelo yehi nisas, that he shouldn't be persuaded lechaverav lihios ba'atzasam. So he shouldn't be persuaded to be with his friends and follow their advice. He needed the fortification that was required in order to resist. Where did he get it from? He got it from going to Kivrei Avos. He got it from going to the graves of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Because when we try on our own, sometimes we're faced with situations in life that we feel on our own we'll never be able to overcome and to be victorious against the unbelievable amount of pressure that exists in the society all around. Maybe we should be like them. Maybe we should succumb and just be the same like everybody else and learn from their behavior. In order to resist that, you need the strength of an Avraham Avinu, Avraham was on one side of the world, the rest of the world was on the other side. That's why he's called Avraham HaIvri. Yitzchak, who despite famine never left Eretz Yisrael. And Yaakov, despite the fact that he fought against Esav and against all the forces arrayed against him, Lavan, and consequently having to deal with the difficulties of raising children, and never gave in, he needed the fortification of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And sometimes, in order for us to be able to do the same, we need to coast along and ride on giants' shoulders. And that's what Kalev did. And even when it comes to situations where we feel we're not going to be able to overcome, we're not going to be able to be victorious, we have to follow Kalev's example and take the Zechus Avos that is available to us in order to be able to become one of those that resist against all odds to be able to do the right thing. So Kalev and Yoshua is a Talmud of Moshe Rabbeinu, and Kalev getting inspiration from Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, who never gave in despite the societal pressures of all around them. Those two were able to resist, and therefore they were the ones who ultimately did come into Eretz Yisrael. Yoshua led them into Eretz Yisrael, and Kalev, of course, his partner, equally was able to resist because he was the one who got inspiration from our Avos. We need to do the same. In our time, we're living in a very, very difficult time. It's always been that way for the Jewish people, against all odds. And in order to be able to become victorious, we need the inspiration and we need the zchus, the merits of our forefathers, and we need to seek to pray to Hashem on their behalf that we get the fortification and the courage in order to be able to do the same. If we do that, and we've done it all these thousands of years when we've been in exile, but if we continue to do that, then there's no question that despite everyone's negative reports about the future of the Jewish people, we're going to see that the Jewish people are going to be victorious in the end. And just as Kalev and Yeshua came into the land of Israel, so too will we, and be able to bring Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mheira v'yameinu. That seems to be the message of Parshas Shelach. Let's grab it, and let's go along with Yeshua and Kalev and be the resistors against the societal influences that have a tendency to pull mankind down, and instead rise up and become the leaders of a nation of the Jewish people that is able to have fortification and courage and strength in order to be able to fulfill our destiny of coming to the land of Israel and being loyal to all the teachings of the Torah. I want to wish everyone a wonderful Shabbat Shalom and Baruch, Shabbos Mevorchim, Hachodesh, Tamuz. We should all be zoche to have Yehi Hachodesh Hazeh. This beautiful month should be a month that brings about nothing but great gifts for each and every one of us and all of Klal Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom, Umevarach, and Chodesh Tov.